What else do we got today, Joey?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's pretty much a basketball-dominated day. Congratulations to the Miami Heat winning their second NBA championship as a franchise.
Yeah, and you know what? Seriously, congratulations to LeBron James.
Yes.
Seriously. I mean, if you really think about it, my man literally carried this team for the majority of the playoffs. He really did. Every time they went down in the series, he would come back and play lights out in the following game to tie the series. I mean, he played amazing in the playoffs.
He honestly did.
You got to give him respect.
And he, without a doubt, silenced all the critics. Everybody knew that he had the physical talents to win a championship. It was all about mental. And I think everybody showed this year that, hey, he mentally matured from a year ago. And especially when in the third quarter when Chalmers is starting to prematurely celebrate, he's like, hey, bro, relax. Not yet. Calm down. We got one more quarter to go. But you could definitely see LeBron has matured as a player. And as much as I want to kill this Heat team, I can't today. You know what?
No, you definitely can't go at the team today.
You can't.
That team last night played
were put together
a perfect game, pretty much.
Exactly. They definitely did. They played team-oriented basketball finally. And look what happens. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
120 points when you play like a team. Wow.
Against one of the better defensive teams throughout the year. OKC, man, we'll get into them a little later in this conversation. I think right now I would like to focus in the LeBron realm. I mean, let's see. All right, we can go through... He dropped his second triple-double of the NBA Finals last night. He becomes only the
fifth player.
Only the fifth player to ever do that. It's only the sixth time it's ever happened. LeBron joins a group that is arguably unmatched with Tim Duncan, James Worthy, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson did it twice.
Wow.
Getting a triple-double in a series-clinching game. It was unbelievable last night. It really was. They played amazing as a team, but LeBron just carried this team throughout this finals, throughout this playoff run. He assist and rebound. I mean, he's the only player not to play the center position to average 30 and 10 through a playoff run.
It's unbelievable what LeBron James did throughout this whole playoff, so let alone the finals, dude. I feel like he just kept answering the question. Whenever they were down in a series, he just kept answering things. Everyone was like, oh, can LeBron James bring the Heat back to the finals? Down 2-1 in Indiana, what are they going to do? Gotta give so much respect to everything that the Heat did last night.
You really do. And can I just tell you right now, it's driving me nuts that I am not in the chat room. I don't care how many people are in there right now. I'm like, I love having my little Twitter thing and everything. Like, I'm sitting here trying to stare at my phone, and it's just awkward. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. And everybody that's out there getting ready to go down the shore, shout out to all you guys listening on the ClubZone.fm app, everybody listening on the TuneIn Radio app. And shout out to all our listeners that are still sleeping and just couldn't wake up today because they're tired. Not hating on you. We understand. But if you want to call in, talk a little LeBron, doesn't matter because I can't click the answer the phone call button anyway. So actually, don't even worry about that. Wow, that just really dampened this feeling even more. Anyway.
Feelings.
Wow, that really just bothered me. I'm so sorry. Like, that just took me off. I'm like,
I see you, dude.
I'm all ready to be like, yeah, you guys can call in. Let's talk some LeBron. Let's talk some NBA Finals. Let's, talk whatever. And I couldn't even answer the phone call if I wanted to. So don't worry about doing it. Anyway.
Yeah, dude, everybody needs to see this kid's face. He's miserable right now.
Mess right now. Mess. Are we still at 4 in the chat room? Hi, my sister. Sorry I can't type into the chat room.
We're at 5.
We're at 5? Woohoo! And you know what's funny, Joe? You gotta be sort of happy about that, because usually when we have 4 or 5, I'm one of them.
Yes, that's very true.
So we're actually minus me, which is awesome. And here's your magnet for your board. Anyway, so LeBron James, man, what a performance. You know, some people are already saying, well, now he can be put into that class with Michael Jordan and the other greats. And you know what?
I guess technically he could. He got his ring.
Slow your roll. All right.
Dude,
until he breaks that
3 MVPs in a ring. That's rare company right there.
That is very rare company, and he's actually one of only 10 players ever to win MVP and NBA Finals MVP. But just to back up my point of, you know what, maybe you're in like the room with Michael, like how I did with Eli. Remember how I gave that comparison with Eli, where like Eli was in the room, but he was sort of just against the wall taking notes. You know what I mean? While the multiple winners are at the table.
I got you.
Yeah, now Eli's at the table. Well, LeBron James is now in the room, but just to give you an idea, you know, LeBron only 10th player to win MVP and NBA Finals MVP in the same year. You know how many times Jordan did it?
I'm gonna say 4 times.
4 times.
I didn't even know that. I just put a number out there.
4 times Michael Jordan has done that. So, like I said, in the room, can't put you at the table yet, my friend.
Gotcha.
But you have now entered the room.
You know what it is? He has reservations at the restaurant, and you know what? The reservations are running behind, so he's got to wait. Yeah, that's what it is.
He's on a waiting list.
He's on a waiting list.
You know what though? I do not want to. I don't think it's fair for people to really jump in and start making that comparison yet, because let's be honest, he's only 27.
Yeah. That's a scary thing. He's only 27.
Jordan won his last ring at
35?
It was early to mid 30s.
I think it was 35.
So if you think about it, if LeBron plays that long, this Miami team, you got to figure, is going to have every opportunity to get back there for the next 2-3 years.
I actually think longer than that, probably the next 5 years.
Well, their contracts end in 3.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen when all 3 contracts run out. And you know, odds have it LeBron gets a new deal. Maybe they let D Wade resign so he can retire a Heat player
and let Bosh go.
They're not going to be able to pay all 3 of them again. They did this before the new collective bargaining agreement, so they technically are under a different set of rules with how they went about things. So I don't know what'll happen with them in a couple years, but I will tell you, even as a Bulls fan, I really want to say my team's competitive with Miami, and they do play Miami really well. But in a 7-game series, Miami would beat them. It's pretty obvious, in my opinion, that Chicago doesn't have enough to compete. Indiana's still
they're a couple years away.
Dues
I feel like,
and learning their way through the
kind of like how OKC
gauntlet.
did. Yeah. OKC had to pay their dues, and then they got their butts whooped in the finals.
OKC's still paying dues. You know what? They have now officially lost to the last 4 NBA champions. 4 years straight, they've been knocked out by the team that has won the NBA Finals. I mean, they are going through every building block possible. Their best players are all 27 or younger.
We have somebody in the chat room, Anonymous, put out a point saying, can't you put LeBron at that table that you were speaking about before? Because he is a better passer and defender than Jordan was. Without looking at rings, LeBron is up there because he's one of the best true players we've seen. And Anonymous, I agree with you, but the thing is, you can't take away the rings.
You know what? When it comes down to what he can do on a basketball court, physically, I don't think we've ever seen somebody like LeBron James.
Dude, he's a 4 playing the point.
He's 6'8", 6'9", 240 to 260. He runs faster than pretty much everybody on the basketball court. He jumps higher than pretty much everybody on the basketball court. So when it comes down to him as an athlete and his talents, there's not many people, if any, that we've seen that can do what he's done or does. But you find me a sport where championships is not the definition of greatness. Find me one, because you can't. You just can't, and that is why I won't put him at the table. I just won't. He's at a table with Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Moses Malone. I can't
even think of a sport, bro. I honestly can't.
There's no question that when LeBron James's career is said and done, He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's in the argument of one of the best players we've ever seen. But unless he adds rings, and I'm not, look, dude, man, earned this ring. This ring is because of
absolutely.
LeBron James. I am not a LeBron. I don't like LeBron James. I don't like him. I just don't. But I respect him 110%. What he did this playoff run, I may have never seen in my life when it really comes down to clear-cut memories. I mean, I grew up a Michael Jordan fan, but let's be honest, I don't, remember those first 3 championships other than vague memories of them. The second set of 3, yes, I remember those. But Michael Jordan went back to back to back in 2 separate occasions. LeBron James, to me, has such a long path ahead of him that there's no point for me to jump the gun and try to put him at that table now. Now, if he was 33, 34 years old and just won his first title, but kept playing the way he plays in the regular season throughout his career, well then, yeah, I'd probably be more considering of putting him at the table for the fact that he only would have a couple years left, and you'd have to say, well, dude, you've done everything humanly possible. It's not your fault that your team can't win championships.
Yeah.
And if he plays like the way he played this playoff run, if his team doesn't win a championship,
it'll be
you won't be blaming LeBron James.
Nah.
You just won't. So, Anonymous, that would be why I'm not putting him at the table, for the simple fact he has such a long road ahead of him of so many more opportunities to do this. For all we know, LeBron James could finish his career with more championship rings than anybody. And for all we know, this could be the only one he ever gets. It's sports. That's why we watch it every year. That's why we love it, because no matter how guaranteed great a team is, you just don't know what's really going to happen. Look at the New England Patriots. I mean, come on. This team, year in and year out, is a great team in the regular season. They go 16-0, lose to the Giants in the Super Bowl. Then the next couple years, they get eliminated in the first round. And you're like, what the hell's going on? You're one of the best teams during the regular season. Then last year, they were one of the best teams throughout the season, get knocked out by the Giants in the Super Bowl again. That's why we love sports. Because no matter how great you are, you still got to go out and play. This OKC team, no more than 2 weeks ago, was the best team in the playoffs. They run into Miami, win game 1, and then lose 4 straight. First time since 2009 this OKC team has lost 4 straight. So that's why we love sports. You got to go out and play. I think what we're going to do, though, is I actually want to hit a music break because I feel like there's numerous angles to approach this at. So I think we covered a LeBron angle. I mean, if anybody in the chat room or out there on the TuneIn Radio app or ClubZone.fm app has an opinion or something, you're going to have to hop into the chat room with us. I apologize to voice your opinion today. But either which way, there's a lot of different things to get at. So we're going to hit a quick music break. We shall come back and we will look at this in a Miami Heat team performance as a whole. OKC maybe we'll look at. We got a whole bunch of different things that we can talk about today. So we shall be right back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sports Zone. Don't go anywhere.